Agile Sports Framework Events. The Sprint Planning Session. The metrics to be achieved during the sprint is determined at the sprint planning session. The sprint plan is a collaborative strategy among the lead analyst, coaching staff, and players. Sprint planning sessions are limited to a maximum of 8 hours for a 10-game sprint, and are often much shorter depending on the level of competition and known statistics about the team and its opponents. The majority of that time is dedicated to the coaching staff and analysts inspecting and making adjustments from the previous sprint. The Agile Sports Consultant ensures that the sprint planning session takes place and that everybody understands its purpose. The Agile Sports Consultant teaches the team to keep the session within the 8-hour time frame. The sprint planning sessions answer the following. What areas can we improve and which goals can we reach in the upcoming sprint? How will the players deliver the desired results? And what will the team need to do in order to achieve its sprint goals? What areas can we improve? The lead analyst works with the players to forecast the performance results they will need to deliver during the sprint. The lead analyst discusses the sprint objective and metrics in the performance metrics log, which are critical to reaching the sprint goal. The team collaborates on the plan to achieve the sprint goal. It usually takes a few sprints for the lead analyst to create accurate value estimates, but once metric impacts are better understood and value assignments are tweaked, results can become predictable. The inputs to this meeting are the performance dashboard, the previous sprint's results, projected capabilities of the players during the upcoming sprint, and past performance of the players. The value of metrics selected from the performance dashboard comprises the player's planned value for the upcoming sprint. During sprint planning, players receive a player value card, which has the team performance metrics and their associated values for that player for each game within the sprint, based on the player's matchup strength. The selected metrics to be achieved on each player value card are the sole decision of the players. Only the players can determine what performance goals they can achieve during the upcoming sprint. However, the combined players' total plan value should be equal to or greater than the lead analyst's recommended team value. A key role for the players is to encourage their teammates to push themselves and set challenging goals that will help the team maximize value and achieve its overall goal. This is a self-organization characteristic of the Agile Sports Framework. After the players and lead analysts forecast performance for the upcoming sprint performance dashboard and value is estimated, the team develops the sprint goal, which are the objectives that should be met during the sprint by executing the sprint strategy and achieving the metrics listed in the sprint performance dashboard. How will players deliver desired results? Now that the sprint goal and the selected sprint performance dashboard metrics are identified, the players must decide how they will accomplish their goals during the sprint. This forms the team's sprint strategy. The sprint performance dashboard metrics selected for this sprint, plus the plan developed to deliver them, is the sprint strategy. The players usually start by developing personal and team strategies needed to accomplish the sprint performance dashboard metrics selected. The value of metrics listed may vary from sprint to sprint, depending on the matchups throughout the sprint. The goal is to increase value points each sprint. The lead analyst determines what the key metrics are to achieve their sprint goal, plan value, and expected wins-losses. Players forecast what performance metrics they believe they can accomplish in the upcoming sprint. The strategy for the first few games of the sprint is outlined during this meeting. The players self-organize to execute the sprint strategy, both during the sprint planning session and as needed throughout the sprint. Coaches and the assistant coaches guide players toward a state of synergy. The lead analyst can help to clarify the selected sprint performance dashboard metrics and make trade-offs if higher value metrics are identified or team circumstances changes. As a result of the sprint planning session, the players should be able to explain to the lead analyst, the coach, and key stakeholders how they intend to accomplish the sprint goal and deliver the anticipated performance through their player value cards. This forms the self-organizing concept of the Agile Sports Framework, where players contribute to and have buy-in to the strategy and what they must do to create and sustain value. What will the team need in order to achieve its sprint goal? There will be times, based on the data and or the feedback from players, when it becomes evident that a player change will need to be made in order to give the team the skills it needs to reach its goals. Frequent inspections and continuous adaptation help players make decisions easier, as the lead analyst is able to provide the organization with specific key attributes and skills the team needs in order to fill performance or skills gaps. And scouts are able to identify the players who fulfill these needs. The Agile Sports Consultant and lead analyst are responsible for ensuring that these decisions are available and backed by solid data. The sprint goal. The sprint goal is a set of metrics for the sprint that the individual players and the team as a whole can meet to achieve its planned outcome, wins, losses, and total value. It provides clarification into how reaching the goals of the sprint contribute to the overall team goal. The sprint goals are identified during the sprint planning session. The players' planned value, the team's planned value, and the projected wins losses comprise the sprint goal. The sprint goals become the set of objectives that encourage the players to work together to achieve team goals. When the team deviates from its original overall goal, the coach makes adjustments to strategy and team analyst reevaluates metric values in the upcoming sprint. During practices and games, players keep the sprint goal in mind. If unplanned events cause a player or players to not be able to achieve their sprint objectives, such as injury, suspension, a major slump, or trade, they collaborate among themselves and with help from assistant coaches and analysts to identify how other players can pick up the slack to avoid renegotiating the sprint goal. And that is a nutshell of the sprint planning meeting. If you would like to learn more about Agile Sports, go to www.agilesportsframework.com or www.agilesportsanalytics.com and download the free PDF guide that outlines the Agile Sports Framework in detail. To learn how Victor Holman can help your team transition to an Agile Sports organization that rapidly adapts to new information and change through player performance, contact him at victor@agilesportsanalytics.com or call 1-888-861-8733.